They said the Kansas City Chiefs were going to be wild card exits, and that ended up clearly being a lie because the Chiefs are set to hold a divisional matchup versus the Buffalo Bills Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to be a great game for Kansas City, I believe. But the thing is, like, okay, cool. This is a whole nother Chiefs team, right? And I don't mean that in the bad way. A lot of people mean that in the bad way. I don't mean that in the bad way. Rice's playoff debut, which I've been talking about for this whole week, was yet another example of his impact. So despite dealing with extreme cold versus the Miami Dolphins, the Chiefs went with a, somewhat pass-heavy attack against Miami, and Rice matched a season-high mark with 12 targets, converting on 8 of those for 130 yards and a touchdown. Rashee Rice led all of the Kansas City pass catchers on the night, leading quarterback Patrick Mahomes to reason that the much-feared rookie wall simply just hasn't gotten in Rice's way, But Travis Kelce had to say this about Rice. He said he's playing with a lot of confidence, and he's making some huge plays. Early on, you just want to see a guy make strides, have confidence in playing fast, so you don't want to throw too much at him. I remember as a rookie, it was like I was learning a new language, and then on top of that, I had to feel confident what I was seeing in the defense across me. You got a lot of stuff thrown at you, and that's where that rookie wall can really hit you. And it just seems like a lot, for the first 10 weeks of the season. Now, I know on my thumbnail, you see George Karlaftis, you see L'Jarius Sneed, and you see Chris Jones, right? But the reason why you see those dudes because those are impact players. And this year, we have impact players on offense, obviously, but you also have to take account for the impact players that we have on defense, right? So George Karlaftis had 10.5 sacks on the season, which is very, very good. I mean, he's had his games where he had his 0 sacks, but if you include the playoffs, he has 11.5 sacks on the year, and that's very, very impressive for Karlaftis, right? And he's a threat. I think he's a threat. He's a force. Any opposing O-line definitely has to worry about George Karlaftis getting to them and taking them down. I mean, he's been just as good as Chris, but not really because, Chris draws double teams and all the attention. But when you look at Chris Jones, 10.5 sacks on the year, right? Cool. That wasn't the best. That wasn't last year with his 15.5, but it was still another double-digit sack season, and he was getting double-teamed even more this year. Now, obviously, last year he was on a whole other level, but this year he's been getting double-teamed even more, and I hope this isn't his last year in Arrowhead or in Kansas City, but it does look like this is going to be his last year. Now, when you look at L'Jarius Sneed, obviously he's been unreal. He's been a whole nother level. He's like one of the NFL's elite defenders, right? I mean, just look at him. He wasn't even a top prospect when he entered the 2020 NFL draft. He had a 5th round grade, and he was projected as an average backup or a special teamer. But clearly, Steve Spagnuolo and Sneed worked together, and Sneed had a vision of how effective, he could be, and Spags had that same vision. At first, he was just an exceptional slot cornerback, but now he moved on and he's excelled at moving on, right? Trent McDuffie stepped into that role that Sneed had, right? That slot cornerback role, And I understand that's like, I don't know if McDuffie does it better, but you have to understand that McDuffie is going to develop into what Sneed developed into very, very soon. And Sneed is just that type of guy, man. He wants to compete. He wants to play defense. He wants to lock receivers up. And he's been doing very good at that lately. You can't throw his way. If you do, he's gonna bat that down. He's a very good press corner. People don't really see it, but he could just erase guys out of the play. Offense could be game planning to throw it to Tyreek. Sneed puts Tyreek on the ground. Now it's gonna be a pass breakup or a sack because you just messed up their whole game plan, and that's his hidden production. But Sneed has developed into the exact opposite of what people thought he was going to be, and that's very, very good. And Tyreek Hill is the hardest player to jam in the NFL. Sneed timed his hands perfectly with the snap, and he knocked Hill to the ground. And I think we're gonna see more of that next week against Stephon Diggs. And Sneed is one of the best corners in the league. He's been working, and he said people are still sleeping on him. And he has a point to prove, so he's going to keep doing this. He's going to continue to do it. He said he's hungry, and he's going to stay hungry. So that's very good to see heading into next week and heading into next week against the Buffalo Bills, where we're going to literally need somebody like Sneed to step up and have a great game. We're going to need McDuffie. We're going to need Carl Laftis. We're going to need Chris Jones. If I could have fit McDuffie on that thumbnail, I would have. But we're going to need all four of these dudes to step up on the defense. We're going to need dudes like Dana to make a presence at times. Charles Omenihu to make a presence at times. We need those dudes to be clicking. We're going to need Bolton. We're going to need Tranquil. We're going to need this whole defense to be elevated and be ready for the challenge against the Buffalo Bills. And I do think that they could prove everybody wrong once again. And the Kansas City Chiefs will prove everybody wrong once again. I mean, people said we was going to lose, right? This is what they said. We was going to lose to the Miami Dolphins. That's what I was told. We was going to lose to the Miami Dolphins. And we didn't lose to them. We didn't lose to the Miami Dolphins. We beat them like we were supposed to. We did very well at beating them. We kind of blew them out. A 19-point win is honestly a blowout in this league. And it was really great to watch. It was great football, man. It was great to watch. And if you look at the QB pressures since week 14, you got Chris Jones is one, and then you got Carl Laftis second. Hold on, I got to go back to it. But, yeah, man. Chiefs, they're on a whole nother level with this defense. I wouldn't write them off just because of this defense. And, like, this defense has been giving them a shot at, you know, competing all year and keeping them in games. QB pressure since week 14. Chris Jones, 35. Carl Laftis, 18. Charles Omenihu, 17. Mike Dana, 16. So this defense is real. This D-line is real. This D-line's getting pressure. This D-line's doing good. And Chris Jones also played one more game than these other dudes. So, but Trent McDuffie, you know, highest graded cornerback among remaining playoff teams, 82.9. McDuffie's that guy. Sneed's that guy. These dudes are lit, man. They're doing very, very good. Sneed since week 15, 23 targets, 10 receptions allowed, 87 yards, 4 forced incompletions, 54.1 passer rating allowed when targeted. So our defense is unreal. Our defense is doing very good. Even Nick Bolton had a great game. Nick Bolton in coverage versus the Dolphins, 42 coverage snaps, 8 targets, 6 receptions allowed, which is bad, but 29 yards, 1 first down allowed. So we're cooking. We're cooking on defense. And we're ready. You know, we're ready for any challenge. We're ready for the Buffalo Bills. Do think we're going to demolish them, and it's going to be a very good thing to watch. So this video, I know it's mainly about the defense because, you know, they've been carrying but they've been the highlight of the team, which is different in, you know, recent years in the Mahomes era. But this is like somebody said in my comments the other day, this is the win like Brady year. It's time to win like Brady. Let the defense do them. Mahomes do what he has to do on offense. And it's going to be a lot of narratives after we beat the Buffalo Bills. They're going to say Pat is carried by his defense, most bailed out quarterback. It's going to be a lot of BS. But when you winning, man, and you're doing good, and you're just that guy, and you're that quarterback winning and getting them rings, they're going to hate you, man, no matter what. So it's really things as Chiefs fans we just got to ignore because we can't stop from hearing. Because we're going to hear a bunch of bad stuff as Chiefs fans, a bunch of hate, a bunch of delusional stuff, a bunch of, you know, negativity. But this defense is ready. They're battle tested. They're ready. They're out for blood. It's going to be nice to watch. McDuffie is going to cook. Sneed is going to cook. Chris Jones is going to cook. Carl Laftis is going to be a lot of pressure. Allen's going to be uncomfortable. The Bills wide receivers are going to be uncomfortable. This defense is physical, man. It's going to be real. If you're soft, you're not ready for this defense. And the Bills just have a soft team. They're soft. And the Chiefs' defense is not soft. They're tough. Now, our offense has to be tough, and we have to play to the best ability possible. And we could prove everybody wrong once again because the Chiefs are just proving people wrong. I mean, they said a lot of stuff, man. They said a lot of crazy stuff about the Chiefs this year. And here we are in the divisional round with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And yeah, man, we have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, bro. Literally. So that's just good. But yeah, man, I'm glad y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all been showing me a lot of love, so I'm going to keep posting. I'm not going to stop. Like I said, man, I'm back. Like, when I'm back, I'm really back. I'm back locked in. I'm making videos every day. All I think about is videos, content, Chiefs. You can ask anybody, man. Like, I really just talk about the Chiefs all day, you know. But it's honestly going to be nice. It's going to be nice. and it's gonna be a good playoff run. And we're gonna go back to the Super Bowl. We're most likely gonna win it. But I'll just let people keep telling me I'm delusional, man. It's Chiefs priority, and I'm out. Peace. If y'all really Chiefs fans, y'all already know the deal, man. I don't gotta say nothing. Peace.